Pleasure to welcome to an Intern Johnny Morning Show, Louis Tomlin. Louis, good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Dude, I hate to start with a One Direction story. But my One Direction first time, I was scheduling music in Iowa. This was 2013. And the label came over and said, hey, we have this band from England. We think they're going to be big. And my girlfriend loved X Factor at the time. So I was like, One Direction. He goes, yeah, how do you know? I'm like, dude. And he played me the song. And I was like, yeah, it's a smash. And he goes, okay, well, they're going to be opening up for Big Time Rush. I go, that's a horrendous idea. And he said, why? I'm like, because One Direction, these guys, they're already big. Like, they're going to be massive. And I mean, you know the story. You guys came, and it was like that. I asked Carlos from Big Time Rush a while ago about that because I always thought it was an odd thing to pair you two together because you guys were massive already. Big Time Rush was massive. I just want to play you Carlos's take, if that's okay, real quick, because he was very positive about it.
They were really nice guys.
Yeah.
It ended up being really hard for us. Like, look, they were like the Beatles. They came
Right.
to America, and like all these American girls were seeing these cute British guys, and it was like, I love Big Time Rush, but who are these cute British guys with
Sure.
long hair and cool accents?
So I wanted to ask, it's obviously you guys do X Factor, and again, like it was lightning instantly. So doing those shows with Big Time Rush, you guys must have known day one, like, oh yeah, this is going to work out.
Well, to be fair on that, like they definitely did us a massive favor. That experience for us was invaluable. Also, like because we were so new to it at that point. We were so new to it. I mean, things were going really well for us, but we was really new to it. But yeah, that first show that we played with them. That was definitely a turning point in terms of how we perceived where it was going. It definitely felt really exciting from night one, actually.
And then I think a couple months later, I was with you guys at the Mall of America in Minnesota. They opened up a One Direction store. What was the weirdest piece of merch you've seen your face on?
Did so much, like you name it. Like honestly, like we did so much random stuff. I mean, the dolls still kind of creep me
Yeah,
out a
yeah.
little bit. We made like dolls and like looks kind of like me, but um, yeah, that was a crazy time. Like you name it, we made it.
Absolutely. Well, I know you wrote a lot of the records for One Direction. What's the experience now? Obviously, third album's coming, but is it more of a relief when you're just writing for yourself? Because at this point, it's like it's on you. So like you're trusting yourself. You don't have to write for other people. It's just like you're writing for Louis and in your own voice.
It's more challenging in some parts and easy in others. I just say it's different. You know, when you're writing for something and for a group, there's there's not as much room for like ego or insecurity or anything kind of like that. So it feels a little bit more straightforward. Whereas, when you write for yourself, it's a bit more introspective, which I think, you get more benefit from when you're willing to be honest and vulnerable and stuff. But it feels a little bit more direct, I think, when you're writing for yourself.
Well, I think you guys are rare too because there's never been a group that's gone separate ways and everybody in the group has solo success. So was that kind of a thing where it's like you kind of felt like we're right? Like you weren't, I'm sure you weren't surprised by Niall taking off and Harry and everybody else where it's like, yeah, I was with these guys. We can sing. They were in the writing rooms too. It had to be kind of like, yeah, like we can do this.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had a lot of faith in the boys succeeding, definitely. But I think also that that's what made it special is we all quite different, like in terms of taste musically. So I think that's where maybe there's not been a lot of examples historically of people having individual success, but I think because we all kind of make different stuff, there's kind of room for each other. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Well, I also thought, I mean, you guys were the biggest boy band the last 15 years, but you were unique because it wasn't matching outfits. It wasn't choreographed. It was like you guys doing your own thing. I mean, I know you were behind the scenes, kind of the brains behind that. Again, like if you were to do a boy band, it'd be copy and paste, Backstreet and Sync. They got to match. They got to dance the same. You guys did it differently. How soon did you realize that was the move to go?
I was like 18 at the time, so like I was really opinionated and thought I knew it all, which is kind of crazy going into the experience that we were going into. But um, it felt like the right thing to do because also like social media was just like really taking off and stuff. So like you couldn't hide behind like any of that like artificial stuff. Um, but also for me that it was like it was never very cool to be dressing all in the same outfits, each to their own, but like that was never really, I never thought that was very cool. So I was always trying to strive on keeping us on the right side of that.
Is it safe to say that there's maybe jealousy from other groups who had to still do that? I think of the other British group at the same time who had to dress alike and dance alike. Do you think they were jealous that you guys kind of got a little more freedom and you took off so big?
I don't know. I can't speak for them, but like, that was definitely a luxury. We were aware of having that kind of control was definitely a luxury. But we kind of earned it at that point. But also again, like in kind of every situation, I think, the band should have the biggest voice because that's what the fans want to hear.
For sure. The new album, How Did I Get Here, comes out in January. Dude, so not to make this about me, I just put out a comedy album a couple weeks ago, #1 in the world, no big deal. But I can't imagine being you. You have 3 months. The album, assuming it's turned in. And for me, with my stuff, there comes a time where I can't listen to it anymore, just the album, because it's like, I don't think it's good anymore. You're 3 months out. Are you just like, album's done, I can't listen anymore because I want to change stuff? Or what's the next couple months look like as far as that part of it?
No, like everything's signed off. So truthfully, it's probably like we're at the time where I probably listen to it like maybe once a week, like maybe. To be honest, like the last time I listened to it maybe it was about 10 days ago. Yeah, I don't like to rinse it, you know what I mean? And also I've listened to these songs like plenty already, so yeah, it's just if I need to kind of feel good and a little confidence boost at the moment, then I put the record on because I feel good about what we've made.
It's got to be exciting too when you know you have something that you put your heart into. You know it's good, where it's like, dude, I just want to put this out like yesterday.
Yeah, this is the first time where I'm really, really excited to kind of show off the record. I feel really, really good about where we're at and the sound and Lemonade's already got off to a great start. So yeah, I'm really, really excited going into this next bit.
There's a lot more time between this album and the last one. Was that intentional? Just kind of how life worked, or you wanted to go in a different sound?
Yeah, I mean it was intentional. Like something I say all the time, like you got to let life in, especially as a songwriter. If you just back to back to back with work, you're gonna run out of stuff to write about. So it was important. I took my time on this record, and Faith in the Future. I deliberately kind of wanted to. It was quite a tight time schedule on that. And I wanted to go the other way on this. I wanted to have the freedom to be able to kind of write at our own pace because, that way you allow yourself time to make mistakes. And that's when some of the interesting stuff can happen musically, definitely.
Well, again, I don't want to make this about me, but I've found like after I do a tour where it's like my mind goes to, oh no, like that piece of work is done. How can I possibly ever come up again? And usually it's like I'm done, then a week later it starts coming up again for you. So the album's done now. Knowing you, how long until you're like, well, I could maybe start dabbled in something for the next project?
Um, to be honest, I like to, I'm not someone who's like kind of manic like that. I like to let it breathe. I like to kind of, and especially that Faith in the Future, like that went so much better than I ever anticipated. So I kind of wanted to just enjoy that for as long as possible. So, I think when you work so long on records, some people love starting the next thing really quick. For me, it's about kind of enjoying this, celebrating this, and as I said, letting a bit more life in.
Lemonade's a banger, dude. That's what's called baby making music in the
Thank you,
United States of
man.
America, man. I was like, this should be in FIFA. This should be in everything. I've always found it interesting where by the time we hear a song, sometimes a song started 2 years ago. So when did you actually start recording Lemonade?
I think in like May. I
Okay.
think in May. It was in. I was lucky enough to record some of the album in Costa Rica, in a beautiful place called Santa Teresa, and that was recorded there. I think you can kind of hear it's got that kind of freedom.
Yeah. It's got, it seems like a very, I want to say, like, I think sometimes artists can white knuckle things. It seems very like you feel very comfortable in the sound, and like it seems like you enjoyed making the record.
Definitely, definitely. I think, it's not, there's probably more pressure with every record, but I think this time round, I just felt a little bit more accomplished. I felt further on. I felt like I'd learned a lot since the last record. And I suppose the difference of this record is I was really excited going into making it. And yeah, I was feeling the pressure, but creatively I was excited about what we might make. So Yeah, I'm just at the stage now. It's a nice time where I can listen to it in my own time. No one else has heard it yet. You know, it's kind of nice for me that.
Yeah, a
And
little
then
treat.
it's for everyone.
Do you ever feel like that where it's like you put the work into it, it's almost like you don't want to release it to the world? You know what I mean? Where it's like you're so protective of it, you spend so much time with it, where it's like, oh man, but once it's out, obviously it's very rewarding. But that moment, the second before it hits iTunes, where it's like, maybe I just keep this, for me.
No, I think like yeah, like I'm so grateful to be in the position that I am. Like I'm really happy to kind of submit control in it and give it out to everyone. Like I kind of like the feeling. I like the idea of that. And it also helps with the idea of not procrastinating too much about, said thing because eventually it's not going to be yours anyway. It's going to be everyone else's.
Sure. Yeah, I saw off topic. I saw Katy Perry about a month ago. Took an edible before the show, which was a very interesting experience. But as she was doing some of the hits, I thought to myself, like, oh, like when she's doing, the one that got away and songs she wrote 15 years ago, I wonder if she feels like it's almost like she's talking to herself in the past, if that makes sense. Do you ever get that when you do songs from years ago where it's almost like, I mean, in a way, it's performing a diary entry, songs you maybe did, Wall was what, 2020, which is crazy. That was 5 years ago. Do you ever feel like that a little bit?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously, especially when you write autobiographically, obviously, life moves on and things change. So, um, sometimes things that you're singing about might be a little bit outdated to you, but it's like you say, it's kind of cool. It's like a diary like that.
Listen, Louis, a pleasure to talk to you. I do need to leave you with this. The last time I saw 1D, you guys were in D.C. playing Nats Park, which is a baseball stadium. It was a miserable day. It was pouring rain. More miserable because my girlfriend at the time and I were fighting. We took the train to the show, an hour ride. So we're when you're fighting with your girl, you're not going to talk about it. You just look straight ahead. And then I'm already angry. And then Niles' ass goes, "You're the most beautiful crowd in the world." My girlfriend screams and goes, "He says that at every show. Calm down." That's my One Direction story. Louis, Lemonade is out now. The album How to Get Here comes out in January. I just want to say to again, I know you don't need to take the time out for us radio folk, but I think you're a very admirable person. I think from man to man, you have every reason to be a bitter person or angry, but I appreciate your positivity. I hope that you know how much light you bring to other people's lives, man. So seriously, it's so cool to see the journey. Look forward to the album and having you stateside as well.
Oh, that's so nice, man. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
Appreciate it, dude. Seriously. Can't
All
wait for
right.
the album, man.
See you later, man. Nice one.